Hello, I'm Chris Williams, and I'm here with another review. This time we're going to review Heroes in Crisis Issue 7. We're starting out with the cover, well, I'm not quite sure if this is the alternate or the main cover, with Superman on the cover stopping Booster Gold and Harley Quinn from killing each other. This cover is a lie. This does not happen in the comic book at all. Him saying enough might as well saying enough with the covers that just lie to you. Here we are looking at the cover that the SJWs caused DC to alter so it didn't look like Ivy had been raped or killed in a violent manner. I mean, she still looks dead in this cover, but they decided to have her in a bodysuit so she didn't look like she was showing as much cleavage. She still is showing cleavage. All they did was turn her blue and cover her breasts with a shadow. And here we are with the first page of the issue. Here we're dealing with Wally West, Wally West, as he makes a silly little poem as he's messing with a bunch of flowers, particularly a rose. He uses his powers to help the rose bloom. He's doing all this because he's dealing with things, with the loss of his family and him coming back from being out of continuity. When they had the New 52, they had made the original Wally West disappear from existence. His family is gone, his kids are gone, his wife doesn't remember him, and he was put completely out of continuity, so no one would remember him. They replaced him with an African-American Wally West, who's now his cousin. Here in this page, we see Harley Quinn fighting Booster Gold. See, I wanted to pull an experiment with this review. They say that every comic book is someone's first comic book, so I decided to try that out. Here, I have no real idea what is going on, and they didn't give any refreshers on what was happening earlier in the series. So all I know is Harley Quinn is angry at Booster Gold for some reason, that she's saying that he killed someone. I'm not quite sure what is going on at this point. I mean, it's a bit unfair to do that, but I figured it would be good for a good experiment. Here, Batgirl and Blue Beetle are watching the fight, and they are commenting on it and stuff, but it doesn't really do much for what is going on. For some odd reason, Batgirl and Harley Quinn are now friends. I haven't read anything about that, then I haven't been really following them either, but other people have said this is strange as well, why Batgirl and Harley Quinn would be together in this comic book. Now we go to Wally West, who's his first day at Sanctuary. Sanctuary being a major part of this comic book, being a farmhouse where heroes and villains get psychiatric care in a safe environment. Here we see him talking about about his first day and about how he thinks it'll be great. Well, I think he might be a bit sarcastic here. These pages serve really nothing for the comic book except making the character look like a bit of a douche. Here we see Barry Allen, the original Flash, as he goes to talk to Batman. Barry Allen has been searching for Booster Gold and Blue Beetle to ask them about what they know about it. They suspect them that they are guilty of a bunch of murders that happened at Sanctuary. I know he's been running all over the world, checking each continent, looking for them. Batman asks for Booster, and all the Flash can do is make a bunch of words out of sync and out of order, so he doesn't really understand it. And Batman responds, "Yeah, Booster." Wally, Ted, that's all the Flash can say. Well, Batman just shrugs his head saying yes, even though we didn't really get anything out of it. This part of the comic is just basically played for laughs. The art in different points in this book with different characters is made with different artists. Here, once again, we are back to Booster Gold and Harley Quinn fighting. Now, this is really good art, unlike the previous segment. I really like this artist. I think this is made by a guy named Clay Mann. His first name's Clay and his last name is Mann. This art is really good. While the fight is going on, Batgirl asks Blue Beetle how he repaired Booster Gold's force field. He says he didn't. He's using a shortcut with his technology to power the force field, and it's controlled by his mind. She asks if he's knocked unconscious, won't the force field go kaboof? And she commences after he says yes to knock him unconscious. She tells Harley to knock it off because they still have questions to ask Booster Gold and not to kill him. All Booster Gold can say is "oh no" as Harley begins to smile and is ready to start beating Booster to death. And Batgirl says, "Stop it, Harley. We need him. He's still a hero, and we're pretty sure he didn't do anything." Harley Quinn doesn't really want to listen to this because she thinks that Booster Gold had something to do with the death of Poison Ivy. And the artwork here is, once again, this is great artwork by Clay Mann. I love it really here. And here we go to yet another intermission with Wally West as he explains explains his first week at Sanctuary and how talking about his life and about what he's lived through. This is about who he has lost. His wife Linda, their daughter Iris, and his son Jay. All of them are gone. It's useless. This part of the comic is useless. It's decent art, but it's just pointless. And here we come back to the third artist with a segment featuring Batman and the Flash. And they just reminisce how they are trying to find Booster Gold and Blue Beetle, and they're trying to figure out where they are. And it's just how, and the Batman has a funny moment when he says that you're not faster than the bat communicator, but then he wonders maybe you are. I mean, the first time we ever hear Batman say, "Well, I could be wrong." Later on, after the fight with Booster Gold and Harley Quinn, Booster Gold says, "Go ahead and kill me, I did it." And Harley doesn't because she knows he's lying, and she basically cusses, and she just can't bring herself to even kill him, thinking that this would bring any kind of solace to her because she knows he's probably an innocent man. All she can do is lie next to him while he asks her why she was making rhymes. Well, Harley Quinn was making rhymes because superheroes talk while they're doing things, and all she could think about was making rhymes and stuff while she was beating him. She said she's not a very good superhero. And Booster Gold nods his head and says yes, that he's also not a very good superhero. And we're back to Wally West doing more nothing. And he does a double thumbs up, and that pretty much ends it right there. And we're back to another segment where Wally West is now messing with a bunch of flowers again, and we see him messing with that rose that he messed with earlier. And what happens? It's actually Poison Ivy. She's actually alive. Where she actually been killed earlier in this series, apparently? That was all a lie. And both Wally West and Poison Ivy talk to each other, and she thanks him for saving her. That what he pulled off with her looking like she was dead, was actually to save her life. And that now we've reached the point where he says to her she might have to watch him die, as he's apparently going to have to fight another version of himself. And here we are, the final segment with Blue Beetle and Booster Gold with Harley Quinn and Batgirl as they talk about what they're going to do and how they're going to stop this. Booster Gold is optimistic and thinks that they can pull it off. Harley Quinn roots for him, saying that she'll be right there with him, even though they were just fighting a little while earlier, and this segment is all basically useless and might as well be a comedy. The final segment, Flash and Batman says that they found them and that they'll soon have them because they set off a bunch of alarms, apparently all of them. And we come to the final page of the issue. Once again, we're back to Wally West reminiscing about what he's lost and what he has lived through, about how he'll never see his kids again, how his wife doesn't remember him, and that a great many people don't even remember who he is. That his life is over, and that the world has changed, and he kind of blames his Uncle Barry Allen. It's a sad thing, and it looks like they're going to place the blame of everything that has happened in this series on him. I kind of hope not. It looks like it's probably going to be a different version of Wally West, and the real Wally West is innocent. And here we come to the original cover of Heroes in Crisis issue 7. The work by Clay Mann for this cover is incredible. I love it. It almost reminds me of Alex Ross artwork. I mean, the blood on her hand as she's trying to scribble out a last message telling who had actually killed her. It's awesome. This is great artwork. It's a sad thing DC tucked their tail between their legs and bowed to the SJWs. This comic in general is bad. This issue is bad, even though I haven't read any of this series earlier. Yes, I know that is kind of unfair since I haven't read anything up to this point, but it's still a bad issue. The characters are flat or stupid, and I really didn't like them. If you like this review, leave a like, leave a comment down below, and subscribe. I'll see you all again soon. Bye.